You're now tuned into the Morning Star Show with Super Size 75.
Hey, don't shoot the messenger.
Hey, yo. Hey, let's get into some nigga shit.
You're now tuned into the Morning Star Show with Super Size 75.
Wait, I just binged episodes 2 through 6. We're going to go over it because there's one episode that pretty much saved this show for me. Okay, it is episode 3, but we're going to go over all 2 through 6 and point out some things. Yeah, because I was over this show until episode 3. There's a few key points for me that stood out. Listen, it's not real deep, y'all. It's not nothing. You're not going to catch any Freemasonry or any high science or anything like that. But considering who created this show and the narrative of this show, just a couple of things that she threw in there that I was like, okay, you got me. I'm good. So I'm going to keep watching. So by any means, yo, listen, man, it's a guilty pleasure. Yeah, this is a good hold off until power. I'm not going to lie. This is a great little gem. Holding us off till power. So if y'all ready, sing a song with me, please. A 1, a 2, a 3. Down in the valley where the girls get naked. If you throwing bands, then you know she gonna shake it. All right. Let's get into it. Episode 2, Scars. Freeze come out of night is playing in the foreground. Ms. Mississippi and Merc are in the Paradise Room with Corbin performing dominatrix acts on him. It is Fantasy Fridays. Clifford requires ID from Autumn. She questions what Mercedes and Keyshawn do in the Paradise Room. A stripper named Toy is being made fun of because she has not a vaginal smell. She keeps passing gas on the patrons. Autumn begins drinking on the job. Clifford is holding OxyContin for Gidget's boyfriend. The Pink has a 30-day notice. He's in the arrears of $55,128. Now for this particular episode, this nigga is wearing has a rhinestone in place of his third eye. Lil Murda is hiding in Clifford's back seat. He's upset Mercedes wouldn't dance to his music. Sister Woodbine, this woman is a piece of work. Sister Woodbine hounds her for more tithes. The pastor says he needs 20%. He needs another 20%, and offers her a Sunday in the pulpit. They need a 20% in the bank account to apply for a loan. You know, some banks require you to hold so much money in your bank account for so many days until the loan is approved. Okay. Autumn is going through IDs looking for Montavious Hill. Andre Watkins is going over photos. He's doing reconnaissance on the Pink. And he has a file for the casino resort called the Promised Land. Andre needs 3 signatures from the brothers, the Kyle brothers, to transfer the deed to the casino so they can get started on the project. Corbin is the lone holdout. The other 2 brothers are down with it. Mercedes bought a building for her cheerleading squad. At the Pink Soap Down car wash, the Mayor Ruffin, shows up. Clifford wants his liquor license. The mayor wants the dancers to cover up. Okay. Mercedes and Autumn are detailing the mayor's Escalade. Autumn has a flashback of when her car was underwater in the flood. She spazzes out in the mayor's truck. She blames Mercedes for locking her inside. So Mercedes takes Autumn home. Autumn pulls her phone out of a bag of rice and begins scrolling through pictures. She sends Lakeisha Savage a $9,000 wire transfer through Telex. Clifford's chef quit because he can't afford to give him a raise. Okay, Murda plays a new song for Clifford. He says he needs better production and needs to be able to take constructive criticism. In return, Murda says, well, his club is struggling. There's no hookah, no money gun. The wings give people gas, and Toy farted on one of the patrons. He says, bake the wings in cannabis butter and pan sear them. Okay. Andre finds Corbin in the pink to get his signature. Corbin wants to see the land deal. Autumn offers Andre a dance. Mercedes cock blocks Autumn. Andre refuses Mercedes. Autumn dances for Andre. She's listening to the convo between Corbin and Kyle. Corbin wants to lease the land and not sell it because he's all about legacy. All right. Corbin says it's reparations. He makes a side deal to Andre for a bigger commission if he convinces everyone to go with the lease instead of selling the land, the farm. Okay. Corbin pays for Andre and Autumn in the champagne room. Mercedes and Clifford talk about his financial issues. One of his sayings is, let the stage be your stepping stone, not your tombstone. Okay. Andre and Autumn wipe the slate clean as he sees her C-section scar. He shows her his surgical scar. He was born with his heart out of his chest. Autumn tells Andre to run his cut for Corbin through a shell company and incorporate it in Delaware. Okay. Mercedes is hating on Autumn. Autumn's tip out. She made $1,000 without having sex. Clifford tells Autumn to stop flossing in front of the girls and present her with an ID. He knows the ID is fake. She tells Clifford Corbin and Andre plans for the casino. Clifford wants Autumn to be his spy for the casino plans. Mercedes goes home. Her mom tells her she needs a $20,000 back from the church after the loan gets approved. Autumn calls Andre. She begins having phone sex. All right, that's episode 2. Now, this episode is by far the deepest episode without question. This is the one that gives it gravitas. This is the episode that saved it for me because I was ready to throw the show in the trash because of this episode until this episode. Okay. I believe, Nina Boo, that the reference is to Hurricane Katrina. I believe so. Okay. Ms. Naya, hey, Felder, hey. Okay. Yeah, Nick, come on, bro. I know. This is what I gotta get the hands dirty for y'all to get the enjoyment. All right, so episode 3 is Higher Ground. This is by far the most important episode, in my opinion. All right, so Mercedes is performing for a football coach. Autumn is buying wigs with Gidget. Andre begins texting Autumn. Autumn is becoming a new sensation, but still drinks on the job. Clifford presses Autumn for intel and keeps using her fake ID against her. Andre is the mayor's son, Mayor Ruffin, played by Isaiah Washington. Very good. Very well, I would say. Okay. The mayor is pouring out libations. He says, Oba la Ogun. He tells Andre, you got to feed the gods. That's the first important part of this episode. He says, you left Chuckalisa before the old ways tattooed themselves on your arm. Now, I was pleasantly surprised at this exchange between father and son, and it got this deep. I was pleasantly surprised. All right. Andre is an idealist. He's upset about his dad getting kickbacks and naming a building after himself. Mayor Ruffin, his father, is the first black mayor of Chuckalisa. The mayor tells Andre if the Bible thumpers find out about the plan about the casino, they'll protest. Andre and Autumn have a date. Autumn gets a notice from Telex regarding her wire transfer. There's an old man. It's the second most important part of the episode. There's an old man in the diner. He tells the story of the mounds. He says 2 Choctaw brothers looking for land for their people plant a stick in the ground every night, and whichever the stick was pointing the next morning, they'd go. Every night for 100 years, they would do this. They would even carry the dead members on their backs. One day, the stick was pointing straight up, and that's where they made their bones. Ooh. That was the second most important part of this episode. This is what saved the show for me. The fact that they put that in there. Yeah, Jazzy, he keeps referring to him as God's son, but I mean, I guess he's the father figure to him. So, yeah, I hear you. There's one part he refers to him as his dad. So it's that was an oversight or a misstep on the production's part. But you know, okay. So then Gidget, Ms. Mississippi, and Mercedes catch Autumn at the diner with Andre. Autumn leaves. Mercedes calls her an anorexic bitch. Okay. All right. Clifford goes to see Corbin. Corbin tells Clifford the plan to lease the land instead of selling it. Corbin wants legacy money. Clifford doesn't know the pink will have to be torn down for the casino. Clifford knows he's the bastard son of the Kyle family. It's an old family secret that no one knows except Clifford. Clifford and Corbin went to grade school together. Okay. Sister Woodbine is rehearsing for her sermon. Mercedes shows up for her money. Her mom questions what she wants the money for. Mercedes has to punish her team for recording a bad bitch party. They were going to upload it on Snapchat. Taylor, this is the third most important part of this entire series. This is what saved it for me. The sister put it in there. Mind you, the black woman put it in here. Okay. The creator of the show, they put this in here. Taylor says we should be free to express our sexual freedom without patriarchal consequence of rape and rumor. Then Mercedes says, Taylor, fuck your feminism. I'm sold. I'm sold on this show. I'm like, okay, I'm with it. I'm with this show. Just because they put that in there. Very, very important. Very, very, very important, especially given the mindset of a lot of sisters that are roaming around out here today in the media. Okay, this is very, very important they put this in here. Okay. Mercedes, Gidget, and Ms. Mississippi practice a triple stack routine. The moves they do are called monkey drops, where they drop, so many feet off the pole, down. Those are called monkey drops. Listen, I did some research on some stripping techniques. Don't know why. They're practicing the triple stack, but Ms. Mississippi can't hold the line because her wrist is sprained. She's being abused. And when you find out who her abuser that's even more weird with this show. Diamond, the bouncer, uses alcohol and pepper for her wrist. Diamond is a veteran from Afghanistan. That night, Autumn babysits Keyshawn. Keyshawn is Mississippi. Baby, and has another flashback of her daughter. Autumn is drunk on the job, then gets on the main stage and is sloppy drunk and gets on the pole while Mercedes is on the pole. So they're competing with each other on the pole. Autumn climbs up the pole, falls off the pole onto the floor. Mercedes gets on top of her to cover the performance, to make it seem like it was all part of the plan, okay, part of the act. Murda picks up the DJ from private school and plays music for him. Murda is driving a Saturn. The DJ invites Murda over to give him pointers for his musical production. Okay. Wait, Sly, you know too goddamn much. What do you mean? I'm a study. I'm a studier. So what I do, I got to find these things for y'all. Okay. All right. Autumn and Andre go to the mounds. They later have sex. She sends him out for a condom. She says, I need you to help me keep the engine humming unlock your laptop. So like a goofy, he unlocks the laptop. She immediately goes through the files. Now, at the church meeting, the pastor says Elder Clydale will preach instead of Sister Woodbine. She pleads her case, but pastor rebuffs and says Elder Clydale will be preaching. Autumn emails all the important stuff to herself. Autumn then leaves out of the, she learns of the casino's plans for the pink. Autumn leaves before Andre returns. She leaves his laptop open with one of her pictures that he took of her because he was doing surveillance. Okay. During her performance, Ms. Mississippi, her abuser shows up. Well, he gives someone a rose to give to her. Okay, that was kind of a weird moment. Gidget's boyfriend shows up. He pays Clifford for holding his Oxycontin stash. Gidget supplies her mother Oxycontin. Her mother has a very bad Oxycontin habit. Okay. Autumn shows Clifford the information she learned. Mercedes sees her girls have posted themselves on Snapchat at a house party. Mercedes shows up. It's Tarika's house. The captain of her team is Tarika. Tarika is her daughter. Ooh, we didn't see that one coming. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. Tarika and Mercedes have a heated exchange. Mercedes says she'll end up 13 and pregnant. Tarika then says if she were, she wouldn't give up her baby like Mercedes gave her up. Ouch, right? Michelle shows up. She's the guardian, and she no longer wants her on the team, but that's the only time that Mercedes gets to see her. Okay. Clifford presses Andre on why the pink isn't in the plans for the casino. Andre calls Goddaddy and tells him they have a problem. Autumn uses the Lakeisha Savage ID to pick up her $9,000 wire transfer. Okay. Now, we're up to episode 4. Like I said, episode 3 saved this, and I was mildly impressed by the little themes they put in it. So now we get back to the fuck shit. Okay. Episode 4 is The Trap. Diamond chokes out a patron named Freckles for disrespecting Ms. Mississippi. Ms. Mississippi begins to question her place in life. Autumn pours out all of her alcohol into a tub, then dumps the money in it. She then deposits $8,672 at the bank. Mercedes is told that she has 24 hours to come up with a down payment for the building for her gym, and that the realtor tells then the realtor says to Mercedes, raise your subscription to $250 a month. Dreams are expensive. Okay. Sister Woodbine briefly meets a homeless guardian angel. Now, I think a lot of people missed this part. So it's this thing where the pastor plucks a feather out of Sister Woodburn's eye in episode 1, I believe. Now, she's at the bank making the withdrawal of the 20 grand of Mercedes' money and closing out the account. The homeless black man shows up because she's singing in the car, and he gives her a quarter. He says, hey, you're singing it so beautiful. I had to give you the money. I come to your church and watch you sing every Sunday. She says, no, you keep your money. And she turns around, splits like, and he's gone. So clearly he was not a human. Clearly he was a guardian angel. I think a lot of people missed that part. All right. Okay. Homeless guy close the account, withdraw 20 grand. Okay. Gidget is teaching Autumn how to work the pole. Ms. Mississippi tells Gidget about the casino plans. Clifford wants Autumn to talk back to Andre. Andre makes a pitch and tells Bill is this old white guy developer that wants the land, the Kyle Farms. He wants the land to be sold to him so they can do this casino and resort thing. Okay. Tells Bill that and his dad during a pitch meeting that Clifford knows about the plans. The mayor plans to create an ordinance to speed up the foreclosure process on the pink. Mayor Ruffin tells his secretary, bitch, just go. So they're in the office, and it's testy because obviously Andre didn't give Goddaddy a heads up, or Mayor Ruffin, about the problem that Clifford knows the plans. So after the phone, the Zoom meeting, the video conference is over, he's telling Eloise, the secretary, to do something. She gives him some lip, and he says, "Bitch, just go." That was a pretty gangster moment. That was a pretty gangster moment. All right. Mayor Ruffin then tells Andre to close the deal. Mercedes calls Terica, but it goes to voicemail. When she calls the voicemail, it says Terica can't come to the phone right now because she's on punishment. And you can hear Terica saying, "Oh, Ma, don't do that." That was funny. Sister Woodbine, during one of her songs, turns it into a singing sermon to a rousing celebration. So this is at a church. They're at church, and it's during her one of her songs, or what do you call it? The song singing part in the church. I don't know. What is it? Whatever you call it. She says she's singing, and then she makes her way into the pulpit, and she turns it into like a slight sermon. So then she goes from singing into sermon, back to singing, back to a sermon. So it's like a sing-song version of a sermon. So that's her way of kind of like her way of doing her preaching moment, right? And then of course the pastor's getting pissed because he knows what she's trying to do, but the crowd is loving it, All right, so so he's highly displeased, and then he snatches her to the back room. Okay, now she says, "Nigga, you ain't God." He says, "This is my church, and the woman ain't got no place in my pulpit." Now, we all clearly know in the Bible it says woman's not supposed to preach. I'm just saying. All right. Then he says, "Stay in your lane or find yourself another church." Mercedes gets a necklace from the coach. Gidget and Ms. Mississippi question Clifford about the pink closing. Mercedes sets Gidget and Ms. Mercedes straight about life after stripping. Autumn meets with Andre, apologizes. Andre then snaps and tells her to be a mother to her child. She then gets upset. She starts punching at him. Then he holds her, gives her a hug, blah, blah, blah. The next morning, she wakes up in the hotel room while he's watching her sleep. Okay. She tells him her daughter is dead. And then Autumn continues to initiate more pickups from the telex and picks up another $9,000 wire transfer. The night of Mercedes' last dance, Sister Woodbine keeps putting Mercedes to voicemail. The realtor says she has a competing offer and it has until midnight to give her the deposit. The girls decorate Mercedes' locker and help her get dressed one last time. Oh, wait. YouTube screwing with the audio? For real? Can everybody else out there? Praise is called praise and worship. There you go. Kidra, hey. Say something, hey. Art Turner. Okay, Foxy China, hey. So can everyone hear me? Okay? Give me the thumbs up if the audio is crispy. Cool, all this was happening. My favorite part, come on, Sly, I can hear. Oh, Lord Jesus. Y'all just here for the fuck shit. Okay. All right. Wait. They decorate the lock. Okay. Murda gives the DJ a new track to play. As Mercedes is about to walk out, as she's walking out, she takes in the moment. She observes everything. She relishes the moment because she knows this is it. This is the last go around, the last hurrah for her, right? So then she goes into Clifford's office. He's like, "What you doing here?" They have a little heart-to-heart, and he tells her to turn around. And he says, "Walk out of here. That's the only way I want to see you." So then Mercedes gets a call from her mother, says, "Hey, I got the money. I'm about to meet you. I'm about to come to the club." She says, "Don't come to the club. Meet me at Kroger." Mercedes and Autumn take the last little snipes at each other before Mercedes goes to go meet her mother. Okay. Murder's friend Rico says word around town is that he's everybody's punk. Murder beats him up. Then he gets kicked out the club. Sister Woodbine. So, man, Sister Woodbine's a piece of work. So Mercedes meets the realtor at the gym, at the location. The realtor says, hey, I already closed the deal. They already came in and put down a down payment. She's like, no, my mom's on the way. She's about to bring me the money. She's about to bring the money. Out walks Sister Woodbine. Sister Woodbine took the 20 grand that was owed to Mercedes and put it down on the gym to use for her church. I say she took a 20 grand that was owed to her and put it down for a church. Mercedes loses it and attacks her mother. Mercedes is an hour late to the performance. The crowd is getting hostile. She's an hour late. Ms. Mississippi volunteers to go in Mercedes' place. Murder hears his song being played outside the club. He gets a bit emotional. It's a good moment for him, right? I like this moment. It was because he worked so hard and he just wanted to get his song played, and he hears his song played like that's my song, that's my music, right? So I'm like, yeah, I'm rooting for the dude. I'm like, yeah. Clifford goes outside to see Murder. Murder says the song is about Clifford. And here we go with the fuck shit. Murder says the song is about Clifford. Clifford says, prove it. Ms. Mercedes is having an awesome performance, a performance of a lifetime. She's making a ton of money. Even Freckles, the guy that got thrown out earlier in the episode for disrespecting Ms. Mississippi, even he throws down some money for Ms. Mississippi's performance. Clifford and Murder have sex in his office. Okay. Mercedes and Sister Woodbine are both arrested. Yes, Kidra, they showed too much. Hey, brother, yeah, I knew it was coming, but still, I know. We all seen it coming. I'm just saying. Episode 5. We're episode 5. This is Belly. Okay. Now this is a fucked up episode, and we're gonna get into why. Y'all know why. I'm just discovering why. All right. There's a divorce party. The divorced lady during a lap dance tells Ms. Mississippi she smells like a baby and starts crying, saying she doesn't want to go back to her big empty house. Now, 2 minutes prior, she was buying everybody shots. You know how women do, they divorce parties. They're extra excited and she's just throwing money all over the place. Okay. She then passes out. And Ms. Mercedes and Gidget are looking at a pile at the pile of money. It's the rest of her divorce settlement money, and they take the money. The next morning, the divorced lady is discovered on the floor by Clifford. She's walked outside. A 14-day foreclosure notice has been posted on the door. Ms. Mercedes' performance goes viral. Mercedes and her mother goes viral for their fight. Autumn's Telex account has been frozen. The drunk divorced lady leads cops on a high-speed chase. She's singing. She gets arrested. She goes into the tank, into the cell. She's singing Lil Murder's song. Mercedes is already in there. She's like, whose song is that? And then the lady says, oh, that's Lil Murda's song. Okay. Jesse the cop is earlier in the episode. Ms. Mercedes kind of fleeced him and took his wallet because he was doing some unscrupulous things. But this dude's a cop, right? So she recognized him as he's taking her picture for being processing. His name's Jesse. Mercedes is placed in the same cell with her mother. She then attacks Sister Woodbine again. Jesse comes in to break it up. Then the man walks into the police station looking for his missing wife. We presume it's Autumn. We're not stupid. His name is Montavious Hall. Now, you remember that name from episode 1. She was calling the operator asking, do they have reports on a list of names of either dead or alive? Clifford tries to talk to the sheriff about the new law that Mayor Ruffin put in place. The pink is considered community black. It's got to go. Clifford finds out Mercedes is in jail. Mercedes finds out Mississippi danced in her place. Mercedes tells Clifford not to bail her out and to focus on the club. Mercedes outs her mom, saying at the age of 3, she already had a gas and light bill in her name. Lord have mercy. Lord. Gidget makes her mom an Oxycontin smoothie. Mercedes calls Gidget to get her bailed out. Her bail's at $2,000. Jesse offers Mercedes a jacket to wear in the cell because it gets cold. Sister Woodbine tells Mercedes she's been called to preach and to leave Tarika alone. She's not ready to become a mother. The girls meet at the bail bondsman to bail out Mercedes, but the funny exchange is between the bail bondsman and Gidget. Gidget says something slick, and then the bail bondsman is like, he said some real fucked up shit. It was so funny. And then he's like, you can either pay for this with your house or with your pussy. He's like, and then Gidget's like, she loses her shit, and all the girls get upset. So what ended up happening was because the bail bondsman, the bail, the tax, excise fees, past warrants for parking tickets, total came to $5,000. They all pretty much leave after they exchange between Gidget and the bail bondsman. That shit was funny. He read the fuck out of Gidget and all her friends. I had to go back and watch that scene because it was just that funny. All right. Mercedes challenges Woodbine's ability to preach. She begins to preach. They begin to sing in the jail cell. Here we go. Woodbine says this isn't jail, it's God's house. She then begins to question the ladies one by one of their charges. One lady says, I put an ounce of weed in my baby's diaper. An old black woman says, I slit somebody's throat. So everyone kind of scurries away from her. Right? They leave her the fuck alone. But the kicker, the drunk divorced lady says, DUI. But I cheated on my ex-husband with his mother. What? 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 Let me run that back again. She said, I mean for DUI, but I cheated on my ex-husband with his mother. Why? Why would they even feel the need to even put that in there? You got black women looking just fucking deranged at this point. Now you saved it. You saved the show for me in episode 3, only to turn around in episode 4 to do this nonsense. You know what I'm saying? Like it. The narrative is becoming that it doesn't matter. A sister will sleep with anybody or anything. You understand? Like that was so like, whoa, what the fuck are we doing here? You know what I'm saying? Like that was so disrespectful. You know what I mean? Like, come on, his mother, your mother-in-law. Oh my God. Okay. 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 All right. Okay. Woodbine says this is God's plan. Let him use you. The women are all weeping. Mercedes gives her mother a hug and tells her, Mama, you dead to me. I felt that shit. I felt the fuck out of that shit. Mercedes makes bail. Autumn is there to pick her up. Mercedes breaks down crying in the car. Mayor Ruffin is telling jokes at the barbershop. Clifford walks in to confront Ruffin about the foreclosure. Ruffin says some niggas need to be erased. Clifford shows him the land appraisal charts. In the car, Ruffin questions Andre and tells him to finish the deal. Murder performs his new song at the club. Ms. Mississippi goes into a zone when performing, so she's approaching her Mercedes level type of performance. She goes into a zone where she just zones the fuck out. All right. Murder comes back to the office to see Clifford. Here we go with this shit again. Murder tells Clifford it wasn't a fling for him. He doesn't want to suck and fuck in the dark. He tells him his real name is LaMarcus. Says he wants to take him out somewhere. Clifford's like, where are we going to go? We can't go here because the two gay guys were found in a river. And then he says we can't go here because the two lesbian couples were anally sodomized by a bunch of truckers. Okay. So now Ms. Mississippi is gone viral and getting more and more popular on social media. So then Ms. Mississippi's baby daddy drops the baby off at the club. His name is Derek. He's white. Derek tells Keyshawn, Ms. Mississippi, he wants to take care of her. He wants her to stop dancing. This is the guy that's been whooping her ass, the white guy. So then he asks, well, who watches Royal when you're performing? She says, everybody. I can't. Okay, so then Ms. Mississippi is taking the baby inside. Then she sees Murda and Clifford kissing through the door slits. Murda says he'll talk to her about that. Okay. Next scene, Autumn reveals to Mercedes what happened to her during the flood. Her daughter was washed away inside the car. She just tells her they were caught in a hurricane. She doesn't tell her exactly what happened to her daughter, but it's a bad situation. Autumn then tells Mercedes she doesn't have to pay her back and gives her 10 racks to get back on her feet. Autumn shows her how to do the telex scam. Autumn needs IDs. Mercedes has a guy for IDs. It's Maine. Maine is played by former running back for the Jets, Curtis Conway. The last time you saw him was in Luke Cage, season 2, I believe. Yeah. Okay. Montavious is looking at a list of telex transactions on a laptop. So he's hot on her trail. Okay. This so far is episode 6. This is Legacy. This is where we'll all be caught up together as a family. We'll be caught up together. All right. Autumn and Mercedes make telex transactions in disguises. There's a shot of Harriet Tubman on the $20 bill. Michelle has Tarika taking tennis lessons. Mercedes came to visit. Tarika says she doesn't want to come back on the team. The only reason she was on the team was for her to see her mother. Mercedes was supposed to visit her the prior weekend. That's the weekend she got arrested for fighting. Marcel, the Guardian, admits to burning up Tarika's dad in a fire, and that his urn sits on her mantle. Now that bothered me. Okay, so and you know those red pill guys are gonna be like, oh my god, I told you female empowerment, told you the men are just relegated and they're just cannon fodder. Listen, like I said, I'm not gonna argue with them on that particular point when it comes to that particular line about the woman professing basically killing the father of the child that you have custody of, and then if you have his urn on your mantle. Hey man, I'm just reporting this shit, okay? I don't write this shit. Murder talks to Ms. Mississippi. She denies seeing anything. Her performance to his song hits World Star. She makes an offer to be the Keisha Kaur to his Gucci Mane. He notices her sprained wrist. They take a bunch of selfies to promote. Clifford is stressed out over the foreclosure. Murder tells Clifford their secret is safe. Clifford dances with his blind grandmother, played by Loretta Devine. Clifford's grandmother took out a bunch of refinancing and payday loans on the club. She offers to make dinner for Clifford's boyfriend. Big L, the guy that keeps the books, he visits Gidget's guy. He offers to stash his Oxycontin for $5,000 because at this point, everyone is pretty much, they believe that they're going to lose the club. So everyone's making their moves to do what they got to do. Okay. Clifford meets Eloise, which is Mayor Ruffin's secretary, at the nail shop. Eloise is a former stripper. She came through the pink. Clifford demands she gives him a heads up. Autumn wants Mercedes' locker combination. She hips her up to investments and Bitcoin. Andre walks in the diner and leaves. Andre pays for Mercedes and Autumn's meal. Andre meets with all three sons of the Kyle farm to get their signatures. Corbin is stalling and signing. He wants to lease it. To him, it's about legacy. He wants to keep it in the family. Wayne gets upset and says, I hated the man. I'm glad he's dead. We want nothing to do with our father. He then points a rifle at Corbin. Then he points the rifle at Andre and mentions the Civil War. Corbin agrees to sign. The gun was empty. LaMarcus is listening to Mrs. Murder, listening to his grandmother's stories. She was a former singer. She says P-Valley was more packed than hell. And the brothels were eventually all pushed down to the river and went down one by flood or fire. Okay. Ms. Mercedes now has, Ms. Mississippi now has Mercedes Sunday's night slot. Ms. Mississippi, her Instagram is viral and the girls don't like it. Autumn leaves her pistol in Mercedes' locker and gives Ms. Mississippi the combination. Ms. Mississippi is still being abused. Okay, so she shows her the pistols in the locker. She gave her the combination. Said, "Hey, look, I share." All right. Ms. Mississippi asked Clifford to have a headline night alongside Lil Murda. Mercedes picks up. She picks up more IDs from Maine. Autumn sneaks a peek into Tarika's room. Mercedes shares her vision for getting Tarika back. They bond over the loss of their children. Andre tells Bill, the developer, they want to lease instead of selling at $15,000 a month. So he got the permission to lease it. But that's not going to fly well with God Daddy because God Daddy wants it sold. Okay. The DJ tells Murda he needs another song. They're all in the studio. The Murda and Ms. Mississippi share a kiss to keep up appearances with Murda's crew. So they got the front like they like each other, unfortunately, because while Murda was at Clifford's grandmother's house, or he had a text from the DJ saying come through the studio, and he flaked. So when his buddy asked him, "Hey, where were you? We text you to come through the studio." That's when they had to share the kiss. That's when Mississippi had enough wherewithal to say, you know what, it's gonna go left. Let me go ahead and get this man a kiss to get them niggas off his back. Okay, all right. Andre video calls his wife about the leasing plan. She asks, did you do the right thing by not selling? She tells him he needs to come back home to Atlanta. She misses him. Eloise comes back to the Pink for a visit. Eloise vents to Clifford. She gives him the city council charter. Unless they petition for a citywide vote to stop the charter. Clifford then bails Sister Woodbine out of jail after 9 days. She was in jail for 9 effing days. She put up the club to do it. Because in Clifford's mind, well, hell, the city's going to own it in a few days anyway. You might as well just put it up for grabs. Okay, it was a power move in his eyes. Sister Woodbine says, I don't make deals with the devil. Clifford says, but I do. Ooh, I like that. I like that. He then asks her, how much do you want for that church? Autumn calls Andre before she leaves. She tells him he's right where he needs to be, then tells him goodbye. Maine puts on his ankle bracelet on his cousin so he can hit the streets. Before he leaves, he sees a missing persons poster for Haley Cotton. It's Autumn. Dun, dun, dun. We're all caught up. So what I'm going to guess, let me guess. So I'm going to guess that Clifford's going to get Sister Woodbine and church folks riled up in hand with the strippers to force and make enough noise to force a citywide vote for the charter, to vote against the charter. That's where I can see where this is going. Anything else outside of that subplots, I really don't know. I'll just be waiting like next week to watch it. It's like everybody else. So, good day, PC. Hey, yeah. I binged it for the last 5-6 hours. Laura said, "You got me sold on this, so I'm gonna watch it." Hey, man, listen, it's decent. It's decent. It's not perfect, and it's got some fuck shit in there, but it's a decent little show. So then this weekend, of course, we got Lovecraft Country episode 2. So I'm waiting for that. Oh, all my DC fans, did you guys see the trailer? Snyder Cut? Oh my God. Oh, I'm so excited for Snyder. I'm so excited for HBO Max 2021 Justice League Snyder Cut. I'm so excited. I'm so effing excited. I'm so excited. It's a totally different movie. Totally different movie. It was good as fucking ratchet with a little plot. How do you like the voices? They sound forced. Ms. Perspective Pat on I'm sorry, which show? I'm sorry. I'm gonna watch Cuties. It comes out on the 9th. I'm gonna do a review of that. I'm going to watch it on the 9th. But it was weird how they had a different poster for France versus a different poster for the US. Even the poster for France was still pretty bad. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. Darkseid looked, well, Euxis. He's not Darkseid because he didn't have the anti-monitor yet, or the anti-life equation. So then in the Snyder Cut, he's Euxis. Doesn't have the anti-life equation. Desaad looks good. Steppenwolf looks awesome. It looks like a totally freaking different movie from what we got 4 years ago with that bullshit that Joss Whedon did, you know. So I'm stupid excited for Snyder Cut. It's the only movie I give a fuck about next year. I don't care about the Batman. I don't care about none of that shit. I care about the Snyder Cut. So the voices on P-Valley. I'm sorry, what do you mean by the voices? I'm not sure what you mean by voices seeming forced. Could you please clarify? The Batman trailer is cool. I mean, listen, Matt Reeves, if you watch all the Apes movies, he's gonna do his thing. I'm just glad they're putting that in another universe. So now they're bringing in the multiverse, and then I hope that we see more of Ben Affleck on HBO Max in the Snyderverse. You know, I really hope we see that. So, but I'm gonna get out of here. I just wanted to get up to speed with all you guys together so we can talk about this and discuss P-Valley together as a collective. So I'll make it out of here. I gotta do a live stream with Wes is live in a couple hours, so I'll be on his channel in a couple hours, in an hour actually. So I'm out here. Y'all have a good night. Peace. Wait, you mean the tones rather? I know folks from Mississippi and they seem forced. Yeah, the accents. Yeah, they weren't native accents. But I mean, yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna hold it against them. I get it, but no, they were horrible accents. Horrible accents. The old man in the diner, his was legit, but everybody else is like, you know. So, so I'm gonna get out of here. All right, peace.
Heavily flawed individual.
Cindy Ashby Production.
On the Wake Up